the herd generally goes off the cliff like a bunch of lemmings. How many are doing what your mommy and daddy told you what to do? Go to school, get a job, invest in a well-diversified portfolio of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and ETFs. Is that what you're doing? Are you hoping that the next person elected, whether it's President Trump or one of the other candidates, will save the economy? Well, we have a very important show for people like you, because this program is about you have to do the exact opposite of what everybody else is doing. Because if you keep doing what everybody's doing, I'm afraid everybody's going to go off the cliff. And that cliff is not too far away right now, because there's a lot of fraud going on, and I have to hire some forensic accountants to look around who are the termites inside of my own company. So forensic accountants have a very important role in any entrepreneur's business. Like 2008, I thought I died and went to heaven, as the markets, because we're real estate people. I'm not in the stock market. Okay. And as the markets crashed, it was frightening, obviously. But I was taking laps around the rosary bead saying, thank you, Jesus, man. I tell you, best real estate. I live in Arizona, and the best real estate in the world was going for peanuts. Yep. On top of that, the Federal Reserve Bank was dropping interest rates. So the prices were coming down of real estate, and the prices of money were coming down. My concern, this next one coming, who knows when it's coming. You know what they say, the Fed's out of bullets. I mean, our interest rates are at all-time low, prices are at all-time highs. And for those who may not know and understand the term, it's called the everything bubble. It's because they dropped interest rates to sub-zero in many countries. It blew everything into a bubble. So that's why real estate's high, stocks are high, bond market's high. I don't know what else is high out there, but everything's high. And I don't know if you read Nassim Taleb's book, the Anti-Fragile and the Black Swan. Mm-hmm. This next one that comes down, how we're going to recover. See, when we're out of bullets, how, if they're already at zero? Look, one of the tenets of Rich Dad Poor Dad, which came out, in 1997, was savers were losers. And the reason is because why would you save money when the government's QEing it, quantitative easing it, printing it, and interest rates kept dropping? So that's why I became a gold bug in 72. And I've done pretty good on that. I don't save cash, I save gold and silver. But how can people save money? That the person who's following mommy and daddy's advice of get a job, work hard, and save, when the banks are going to charge you money to save extremely well to the S&P, because in 2000, gold was down to like $200 an ounce. Again, I thought I died and went to heaven. And I just backed up, but everybody was getting out of gold. This is the point. And this is why I ask you, you understand Taleb's book about anti-fragile. The bigger the market, the more fragile it is. And the lower the market, the more anti-fragile it is. At that point, there's that song, I Can See Clearly Now. That's why I love crashes, is because then you can see through the dust. Does that make sense to you? And that's what you hold cash for. But I don't hold cash to save. His topic is to do exactly the opposite of what everyone else is doing. And I remember those days when people were pulling out the equity in their homes. I don't know what the heck they were doing, they're smoking it or something. But they're the people that went broke, and then they get angry at the rich when they're the stupid one, because they're doing as they are told. And ask them, are you doing the things your mommy and daddy told you to do? And do you have a social medic? So that's what we're here for, just to challenge the way you think. That's why it's a good news and bad news about money. So our guest today is John Del Vecchio. He's an in-house stock market guru and forensic accountant for Dent Research. We recently had to hire forensic accountants and attorneys to investigate my own company here. We're going to find out what really went on. So it's going on all over. I just finished a book, John, called Who Stole My Pension? And it's with a forensic attorney. And he investigates pensions, and he decided it was much more lucrative to be a whistleblower than to be an attorney. And so
that's right. It is.
He was just awarded, I think, somewhere between $30 and $40 million last year, because Wall Street has been looting the pensions of all the public servants. But Wall Street's doing the same thing to the 401k. So that's my plug in my book here. It's called Who Stole My Pension? And if you're a baby boomer, or you have a friend or a family member who's about to retire, Who Stole My Pension is a big one to read, because you got to get prepared for what's going on. Because the subject of today's talk is, are you doing exactly what your mommy and daddy told you to do? Are you counting on that retirement? Are you counting on that pension? Are you saving money? Are you investing for the long term in the well-diversified portfolio in the stock market? Do you have a job? Are you sending your kids back to school? That's doing the same old thing. That's why I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, because my rich dad never did any of those things. And the reason I can think differently, not that one is right or wrong, but I can see both sides of a three-sided coin, heads, tails, and the edge. So our guest today again is John Del Vecchio, forensic accountant, and he's a very important job of looking who's stealing the money. I was having dinner. I live in a fairly exclusive area in South Carolina, and I was having dinner, and the talk around the office, everybody loves Donald, because the stock market is up. They said, what do you think? I said, well, not only is the stock market up, but the only reason it's up because the bond market is up. Don't you get the relationship? And these people had no idea what I was talking about. It's corporate credit that's going to blow this market apart. These guys are very smart, rich people, but they made their money as good, hardworking accountants, attorneys, investors, and all this stuff. But they had no idea what I was talking about with corporate credit and the bond market. This is the everything bubble. Their properties are high. So let me ask you this. If interest rates go up and those BBB bonds go to junk and the whole national debt goes to ballooned, what's mom and dad going to do? It's legal to lie to yourself that you're doing well. Everybody else is out. The guys who made the money are gone, long gone. They're on to the next project. So, the most important thing, I think the reason we have you on the show is I think a person has to question what mommy and daddy told them or their financial planner told them. That's really what it is, to re-examine that and get your book, Unbounded Wealth. Because if you don't question what you're saying, you're going to probably do what you're thinking. That's what's happening now is everybody's chasing the new, I guess they call them unicorns like Uber and WeWorks. Those companies are bankrupt and they're investing in them. God, I just went nuts. Around 2000, we hired this marketing person and she says, yeah, we had 16 million views today. I'm going, how many sales?
Small ebook, big impact, the wealth tree. The only 4 ways that will make you financially free forever. Download it here for free.